In the early hours of March 18, 1990, two thieves disguised as police officers walked into one of the most famous art museums in the world, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. What happened next? A $500 million heist, carried out in complete silence, leaving no clues, no suspects, and no trace of the stolen masterpieces. But here's the most chilling part: those paintings, still missing. And after more than 30 years, the truth remains locked behind a wall of secrets. What happened to them? Who were the thieves? And will this become the greatest unsolved crime in history? Let's dive into the story behind the $500 million art heist, and the mystery that still haunts us today. March 18, 1990. It was a quiet evening in Boston. The city was wrapped in the calm of St. Patrick's Day celebrations, unaware of the disaster unfolding inside one of its most prestigious institutions. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, renowned for its vast collection of priceless art, stood unsuspecting, ready to become the scene of a crime that would shock the world. At around 1:24 a.m., two men, dressed in police uniforms, approached the museum's entrance. It was supposed to be a routine check. At least, that's what the thieves hoped the night guards would think. One of the guards, unaware of the impending danger, buzzed them in. What they didn't know was that they had just let in the masterminds behind one of the largest art heists in history. The men, posing as police officers, asked the guards to come down to the lobby. They claimed there had been a disturbance reported in the area, a common practice for police to check out during the night shift. The guards, trained to follow protocol, did exactly as they were instructed. Once the guards were in the lobby, the thieves revealed their true intentions. Without warning, they handcuffed the two men and locked them in the basement. The criminals, now in control, took their time moving through the museum's vast halls. For the next 81 minutes, they carefully navigated through the galleries, undisturbed, as if they were performing a task they'd done 100 times before. They had no hurry. No rush. They knew exactly what they were looking for. The first stop. The museum's grandest pieces, a Rembrandt, the only seascape he ever painted, the storm on the Sea of Galilee. Estimated to be worth $100 million on its own. Then, they took Vermeer's The Concert, valued at $200 million. The concert was considered one of the most valuable paintings in the world. The thieves didn't just take one or two pieces. They took 13 artworks, Degas sketches, a Manet, an ancient Chinese vase, and a rare piece of art from the museum's prized collection. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment act. This was a well-planned, precise heist. Each piece had been carefully chosen, possibly by people who knew the museum's collection intimately. How else could they have known the exact location of the paintings in the maze-like galleries? And it wasn't just the art they took. The thieves also removed frames, leaving the spaces behind them bare. This was a symbolic act as much as a strategic one. By stealing the frames, they left no trace of the art's existence at all. The museum was haunted by the absence of its treasures. The heist was not only about the stolen art. It was also about timing and precision. For 81 minutes, the thieves had free rein of the museum. No alarms, no police, no interference. And then, as quietly as they came, they left, with a van full of stolen masterpieces. The guards, who had been tied up in the basement, were left untouched. The criminals vanished, and the world would not know what had happened until morning. The next morning, when the museum staff arrived, the scene was eerily quiet. The guards were found, still bound and shaken, but alive. The art, however, was gone. There was no trace of the thieves. This wasn't just a robbery. This was an act that seemed to defy logic. How did they bypass all the security measures? Why wasn't the alarm triggered? How did they get away with over $500 million worth of art without a single suspect? The FBI immediately launched an investigation, but they hit dead ends at every turn. The stolen art had vanished, no trace. No fingerprints. No DNA. No video footage, because the security cameras had been mysteriously turned off just before the thieves arrived. Despite numerous leads and millions of dollars spent on the investigation, the paintings were never recovered. The empty frames that once held these masterpieces now hang as a haunting reminder that some mysteries remain unsolved. Over the years, many theories have emerged. Some believe it was an inside job, perhaps a disgruntled employee or someone with detailed knowledge of the museum's layout. Others speculate that the mafia might have been involved, the Italian or Irish mob possibly acting as intermediaries for a private collector willing to pay top dollar for these paintings. And then there's the theory that the paintings were destroyed. That the thieves knew that these masterpieces were too hot to sell and decided to dispose of them. Perhaps they were taken to a remote location, shredded, or even burned. But another possibility has lingered in the shadows, that the paintings were taken to the black market and sold to anonymous collectors. These are pieces that, in the right hands, could be kept hidden away forever. And then, there are the bizarre deaths of several suspects connected to the case. Some of the people closest to the investigation died under strange circumstances before they could be questioned. This added even more mystery to an already perplexing case. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of this crime is that the art has never resurfaced. The FBI's investigation continues, but each year that passes, the possibility of recovering the painting seems more and more unlikely. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum still offers a $10 million reward for information leading to the return of the stolen art. But, despite the large sum, no one has ever come forward. The museum's walls are forever marked by the empty spaces where these priceless works once hung, a stark reminder of the greatest art heist in history. So, where are these paintings now? Are they lost forever? Or hidden somewhere, just waiting to be discovered? Will the mystery ever be solved? Or has this $500 million heist become a ghost story, a tale that will haunt the art world for years to come? The mystery of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum art heist remains unsolved, and may never be. One thing is certain, the stolen masterpieces are not just part of the museum's collection, they belong to all of us, and their disappearance continues to challenge the boundaries of what we believe is possible. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of our time, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Stay tuned for more gripping crime stories and true mysteries that have yet to be solved.